Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. As we are moving through very transformative times, I want to give you some guidance for today and tomorrow for how to release the energy which is not serving you anymore, the heavy energy. We could call it a heavy energy, more dense energy, which is kind of pulling us back and pulling us into that state of survival, where we're always, or most of the time, in that fight or flight state. And we all know that in that state we can't truly focus on what we want to experience, because we are constantly thinking about how to protect ourselves, how to stay safe, how to protect our things, money, health, relationships, anything. And it's deeply related to attachments and to a lack of knowledge and lack of understanding of how energy works and how we can actually raise our energy and detach ourselves from the patterns and vibrations which are not serving us anymore. So in yesterday's video, I've shared with you all you need to know about the equinox, which is coming tomorrow, the September equinox. And today I want to give you some practical tips how to make that release. Some things I mentioned in the previous video, so you can go and check it out. And today we have that practical steps. So the first thing, my friends, to release right now, because we all know equinox is all about getting back in balance. And after it, soon we'll have new moon on September 26th. I will make a video about it. And again, that new moon will be really powerful. It will be in the zodiac sign of Libra, again, about balance and finding that inner beauty and inner harmony, so we can start manifesting more of it externally as well. And in order to make that shift, to release the old, so we can embody something new, something more beautiful, something more of who we actually are and who we truly are, more of that essence of being, so we can know more of who we truly are, we need to tap deeper into ourselves and release the resentments and, of course, that pattern, lack of forgiveness. We are not often used to forgive things, right? Because we think that it's an act of weakness. Most people think that only weak people can forgive, because you need to fight, you need to win, you need to be better or whatever. But the first energy that I truly want to mention here is that resentment, right? We hold resentments for so many things. And it's the first thing that we truly need to release, because, resentment can lead to a lot of anger, and we know that anger is no good for anything. So release the resentment. And if you're wondering how to release the resentment, well, firstly, you need to understand that you are not perfect and nobody is perfect. And we always do the best we know, right? And everybody with whom we've interacted with, or whoever treated us negatively, they did the best they knew. If they would knew how to release their pain so they could be more kind towards yourself, I'm sure they would do it. They would do it. But sometimes when we are in this fight or flight states, we just don't know how to release that energy. So we do certain things which we may regret later. And that's what maybe happened to you by somebody else. And that's where we develop certain resentments. We develop certain judgments and certain anger towards certain people. And it is truly not helping us on that spiritual ascension, where we become more self-aware and we become more kind towards ourselves, and we become more acknowledged of how we actually feel right at this present moment, and what can we do to be even more aligned with ourselves, so we can be more aligned with others, so we can be in that greater service, or we can give more of that kindness and compassion or creativity or whatever is just necessary in the present moment to do, or whatever we feel called to do, or whatever we just feel attracted to. When we're in the lower states, we just don't want to do anything. And that's where we sometimes impulsively do something which is unhealthy for us and for others. So, my friends, truly important. Work on that right now, and it will help you so much to cleanse your channels. Then, work on forgiveness. We were talking about it also yesterday. Writing a letter to yourself with a sense of forgiveness. So think about if there are certain things you need to forgive, maybe to yourself or to somebody in your life or to somebody in your past. And you don't need to physically go to that person and forgive, but just do it within yourself. You can visualize like you are communicating with that person, and it may be painful, it may be hard. But feel that energy of forgiveness. Not just saying, oh yeah, I forgive. But truly feel that release. Feel that release, because you're doing that for yourself. Of course, we wish the best to all, but we are doing that for ourselves at the first place, so we can release those emotional blocks. You can visualize also forgiving to yourself, like visualizing yourself when you were younger. Like maybe when you were a kid, and imagine yourself when something hard happened to you. Just hugging yourself, expressing some love towards yourself. And if there's something you need to forgive, if there's something you need to say, just say to yourself. This is actually a truly beautiful and really healing practice you can do with yourself, visualizing your younger self and expressing some wisdom towards you as you gain through that aging process. Things you didn't knew at that time. And maybe at that time when you were younger, you had no idea how to release something, so you've suppressed it. And maybe that energy is still within you, present. And rather than dealing with it right now, you can go into that childhood in your mind's eye and hug yourself, express some love. Let your younger self know that it's okay to cry, it's okay to pull it out, it's okay to release it. And you may experience a great sense of release, a great sense of release of that heavy energy. Pay attention. If you feel a need to do that, try it out, and I can guarantee that it is really powerful. The second thing that is important to release right now is guilt and regret. So if you feel guilty about anything, it's same here, my friends. We maybe did something in the past that we may feel guilty right now, but again, we are a work in progress, right? We are learning every single day. We are learning lessons. And as we're learning lessons, we may recognize that in the past we did something which right now we would describe as negative action. Maybe we had some negative habits. Maybe we still have them. And recognizing that sense of guilt, usually we just don't recognize it because it's so normal to us. It may be a part of our state of being, so we don't fully realize that we are so often in that emotional state of guilt, or we regret something. So remind yourself that you are a work in progress. But at the first place, you are worthy of love, you're worthy of healing, and you're worthy of all beautiful experiences. Doesn't matter what you did in the past, you're learning. So see if there's something you need to learn from those experiences, and then just look into the future and ask yourself, how can you be better in those different aspects? What are the things you are striving for right now, you're looking up to within your life, within certain aspects of yourself? Could you improve certain aspect? Could you make it healthier? and maybe find somebody who can be an inspiration to you. So you will recognize that you're actually never alone. Like, we are all dealing with all these different emotions in different ways. But the thing is that sometimes it's much easier if we find somebody who inspires us, right? If we find somebody who actually gives us that sense that sometimes it's not easy, but still we know that it's worthy. So we are ready to move on to that next stage of greater love, greater acceptance, and greater understanding and compassion towards ourselves. So we can start projecting more of it also externally. So truly be patient with yourself, be gentle with yourself, and most importantly, be honest with yourself, be true to yourself, and take time with that. Because the truth is that we all hold a lot of that energy within still, not just because of our actions and deeds and habits, but also because of our ancestors. It's still in our DNA. It is cleansing, especially for people which are truly doing a lot of work and what we call shadow work, when we go deeper into what we were suppressing in the past, or what we've suppressed, and what we are kind of hiding from everybody else. And we go deeper into it, and we acknowledge it, and we accept it, and we let go of it. So it's a work, it's a process, and it's all okay if you don't feel like you're succeeding at it, or if you think you need a help at that. It's okay to find somebody, to ask somebody for help. So my friends, truly be honest with yourself here. Then the third thing, which is important to release right now, is attachments to specific negative outcomes. How often you hold in your mind's eye a certain idea of how things will go, even though you don't like that idea, even though you would rather let go of that idea, but you don't know how. It's because you are attached to that idea. And we always attach ourselves to what we are thinking most of the time. It's same as a belief. If we think about something frequently, it will become a part of us, right? And that's where we attach ourselves to a certain story. And certain story may be a certain potential outcome. So in order to detach from a specific negative outcome means that every time you recognize yourself, you catch yourself, you're thinking about it, you pause and you start making up a new story, how things will go. But it's much easier if we do it in meditation, because when we go into that alpha brainwave frequency, our brain slows down. And when brain slows down, it's like we would get into the mechanism where those programs are active, which means that we can slow down a program, we can pull it out of our mind, and we can install a new one in. So in meditation it's much easier, but also, for example, in the moment when you wake up in the morning, you sit down, you go into your mind's eye or into your inner quietness after some deep breaths, and you observe your mind. What are certain specific negative outcomes you're repeating in your mind? You catch yourself and you change it for something you actually want to experience. Again, it's a process, and as I mentioned, after that equinox we'll have the new moon, and that new moon is like a symbol of change, like a doorway to a new path for you. So it means that you don't need to completely change yourself in one day, because it's not possible. But if you initiate that greater deep introspection, so you can slowly let go and remove those little tiny thoughts and beliefs and maybe some habits out of your energy field, so you can put in some new ones. You're initiating a new you, like a becoming of a new you, a path of a new you. And it means that you start walking a new path, a greater path, where you experience more of yourself and less of who you don't want to be anymore. To me, that is something truly powerful, and that is leading us to the last thing I want to mention here, which is become aware of limited beliefs about your natural talents and gifts, because so often I hear people say, I'm not talented, I can't do this. Like, I wish I would be as talented as that person or that person. Maybe you're not talented as that person right there, but you have your talents, your unique talents and gifts. But maybe if you're spending a lot of time with people who don't believe in you, you may adopt a program that you actually stopped believing into yourself as well, because you trust those people. But the truth is, you were born with certain gifts and talents. Each soul is here alive because it is bringing something unique to this world. The problem is most people forgot that they are actually souls here experiencing this physical dimension. And the process of spiritual awakening is the process of reminding us once again, over and over again, until we fully recognize that we are souls here having human experience. And once we find out and fully experience the soul beingness, that pure energy, we start reminding once again ourselves about our talents. We start remembering the talents from when we were little. We were doing something that felt natural to us, and that's what is your talent, something that feels truly natural to you. And then often people say, well, I love talking with people, but it's not a talent. It is a talent. Well, so many people just don't want to talk with people because they're like, maybe often artists are like, they like to close themselves into a studio and just create. Musicians, writers, it's often like that, and it's all okay. We just need to find out what feels the most natural for us. Of course, we can develop other aspects and we can work on that. But if we don't find what's truly natural for us and then we start building skills at that, we may never find true joy, because true joy comes from what feels the most natural to us. That's why I love to do what I do, because I found out that it's something I can do just naturally. I love to do that. I love to connect information. I love to in tune with my intuition and download some ideas and then connect them with what I know and what I've experienced. And then I see some pictures and visions and I paint them. It's just something natural for me. And that's why I love to remind you, we all have that. Sometimes people say to me, yeah, maybe you're special. Maybe that's why you have those gifts. But we are all special, my friends. If I am special, it means that you are special as well, because we are all coming from the same source. So however you want to say that somebody is special or more talented, they are just examples that it's possible to do something that maybe you want to do. Everybody who's following their hearts, they are examples that it's possible. So find more people which inspire you, because maybe it can help you to be more inspired when you need it the most, when you need some extra push from external sources. But remember that the greater inspiration is your soul. Once you connect back with your soul, with your beingness, with that pure energy you experience when you calm down your thoughts and you start losing yourself in all those emotions and sensations from external life, you experience your soul, that pure energy, and that's where we recognize what feels the most natural to us. Sometimes we experience thoughts from or memories from our childhood where we just recognize, oh, that's the thing, why I've stopped doing that. Of course, life started happening I need to go to job, to work, to family, everything. We don't have time, right? And we forget about those things. And then we remind ourselves once again what is truly important to us, what truly matters. And we start nurturing that gentle voice or that gentle thoughts, those thoughts. And we start like watering the seeds, and they start growing, and suddenly we realize, wait, I want to start working on that once again. And we start building some skills which can help us to work more on that. Like, for example, even if I felt I want to paint, I needed to build a skill for painting so I can express myself, right? And we start doing that, and it's not always easy, but we at least know why we're doing that. So my friends, those are some things that can truly help you a lot on releasing heavy energy and fully aligning yourself with your true self. So for the next chapter of your life, you can completely embody who you are, or at least embody more of yourself. And that will help you so much on shifting your energy and eventually shifting your life. So my friends, this is it for today. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of this awesome Attract Passion community. Every single day I go through comments, and I love you all so much positivity there. And that's something truly, truly incredible. I'm so grateful for that. My friends, I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting. To everyone who would love to support my art, you can go and check out my Etsy shop, I Draw My Passion. And also feel free to check out my Instagram page, AttractPassion, where I'm sharing daily messages or quotes. And my other Instagram page, I Draw My Passion, where you can find my art gallery. See you there, my friends. Till next time, one love.